The senator from Cape and the Islands, Mrs. Sear, for the purpose of introductory remarks.
Thank you, Madam President. It is my honor to join our Senate President in rising to recognize our esteemed colleague and dear friend, Senator Susan Moran of Falmouth. Senator Moran joined this chamber in 2020. She stepped into the Senate during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, a moment defined by extraordinary challenges and uncertainty, by 7:30 a.m. conference calls, a whole host of work on Cape Cod and the islands, trying to figure out how we would chart our course through this once-in-a-century pandemic. Yet, Senator Moran's unwavering commitment to public service, combined with her extensive experience, her legal acumen, and her deep relationships, proved instrumental in navigating those turbulent times on both sides of the bridge. From the very beginning, her steady hand and thoughtful approach assured not only her constituents, but all of us in this chamber as we worked to survive, come out, and thrive from that pandemic. From her earliest days in public service, Sue has exemplified dedication to community. She often speaks how her own public service was inspired by her father, a wheelchair veteran who was an advocate and agitator for the Moran's less fortunate neighbors. Prior to joining the Senate, she served as chair of the Falmouth Select Board, as deputy speaker of the Barnstable County Assembly of Delegates. Her leadership at the local level produced tangible progress on housing, environmental sustainability, and economic opportunity for all Cape Codders. And I've seen firsthand how she listens to those she serves, ensuring that their concerns are not only heard, but then addressed. Upon her election to the Senate, Sue expanded her efforts to address challenges affecting not just those in the 8 towns in the Bristol and in the Barnstable and Plymouth district, but across the entire Commonwealth. Her roles as the Senate Chair of the Joint Committee on Revenue and Vice Chair of the Joint Committees on Public Health and Consumer Protection showcased her ability to lead on a wide range of critical fiscal, health, and business issues. Whether it was fighting for fair taxation policies or championing consumer protections, Senator Moran's fingerprints are in some of this legislature's most consequential work in recent years. Her legislative accomplishments are extensive and meaningful. She has been and is a tireless advocate for universal early education and free kindergarten, an issue that is vital for families across Massachusetts, but especially for those on Cape Cod, where the astronomical cost of housing and scarce access to childcare make it all that harder for Cape Cod families to afford a life there. She supported increasing funds for our regional transit authorities, and ours arguably rivals any in the state. She helped secure record investments in public education. She's championed innovative policies within our blue economy, fostering sustainable development and advancing marine science initiatives for both communities that are dependent on coastal resources and for the whole of Massachusetts to ensure that we continue to lead in ocean science. Indeed, she even brought senators to the depths of the oceans and the highest heights of marine sciences in Woods Hole. And her steady collaborative approach was key in finally gaining the momentum we needed to replace the Cape Cod Canal bridges. She led the Senate in committing record state authorization for that project and was a key member of the team who secured a record $1.7 billion in federal funding for the replacement of the Sagamore Bridge. The Sagamore Bridge is fully funded and would not probably be fully funded without our good friend, Senator Sue Moran. Sue's service is personal and is shaped by her experiences as a breast cancer survivor, as a mom, as the daughter of a wheelchair Air Force veteran. She has fought for better healthcare access, supported veteran services, and championed the rights of military families. And as a mother of 3 very accomplished children, a nurse, a teacher, and a biomedical engineer, she and her family have lived the values of education and public service, again reflected in her work to expand early childhood education and workforce development and so much more. Her environmental leadership has also been pivotal not just for our region but all of Massachusetts. Recognizing the existential threat of climate change, she led on efforts to protect water quality, mitigate coastal erosion, and promote clean energy solutions. Sue's advocacy for net zero carbon goals and funding for regional environmental studies will benefit generations to come. She also led the charge to thwart a proposed machine gun range on Joint Base Cape Cod that would have put the Upper Cape sole source aquifer at risk. And she's held Pilgrim Nuclear Power Station and its corporate owner, Holtec, accountable too many times to enumerate here. Senator Moran's election to the Senate was particularly meaningful to Cape Cod's women and feminist allies. She doubled our representation from Cape Cod when she was elected in 2020, and she didn't stop there. She helped recruit women to run for office across the region. She is the one who tapped her friend and neighbor, Donna Buckley, who was an unlikely and phenomenal candidate to run for sheriff, who's now our sheriff. She has also, as the Senate President mentioned, forever raised the fashion bar in this state chamber with her coastal cowgirl aesthetic, chic but never without levity, a committed environmentalist. You should know that Sue traverses Cape Cod in her electric vehicle. We have to time often the delegation meetings to make sure that her car is fully charged. She's brought us on adventures. She even brought a Senate delegation to the most tricked out RV that any of us have ever been in. She always has the best of cars. If you have not ridden in her Porsche, I recommend it highly. Maybe not in winter. I think she's still trying to figure out if she can get the heat to work in the winter. But really is worth the ride. And also, with her departure, the Senate will be losing perhaps our most adept rapper. Senator Moran, Sue often, I don't know if you know this, but puts rhyme into poetry, and one of the greatest honors you can receive is when Sue raps for you. So I was going to ask my friend from Springfield to help me drop a beat. I then asked my friend from Roxbury and Lynn, and both old school and new school here demurred. But I guess I'll just have to rap. I'll just have to do this, I guess, myself. This is following your lead, Sue. I'm a big fan of Senator Moran. Who knew that Sue? Y'all, I'm just playing. I can't rap, and I'm not going to rap for you. But I encourage you to, if you've not yet enjoyed the rapping rhymes and poetry of Senator Moran, please make sure you do so. On a personal note, Sue, I will always cherish our collaboration on issues that matter so deeply to our most special region from day one. From advocating on housing solutions, to the critical transportation needs, to the environment, to just taking a in-it-together approach. You have been such a trusted and cherished colleague. I've appreciated your partnership both in our late-night debates in this chamber or in phone conversations extolling the many joys and frequent frustrations that come with this work. Your kindness and commitment to making life better for the people that we serve, that you serve, has left an indelible mark on our chamber and on me personally. I am so grateful for that example. As Senator Moran embarks on this next chapter of her journey, and I'll be seeing plenty of you, both this chamber and Cape Cod, well, this chamber will deeply feel your absence. Cape Cod will not. But your legacy of service, commitment to equity, and real vision for what this Commonwealth can be, that will endure. So to Sue, I personally say thank you. I say thank you on behalf of all of us here serving in the Senate. Thank you for your friendship, for your leadership, and your tireless dedication to the people of Plymouth, the people of the Plymouth and Barnstable District. It has been an honor to serve alongside you. The footprints of your cowgirl boots will be in our sandy shores for many, many years to come. Thank you.